She stood at the edge of the small church, hands trembling inside borrowed lace, 19 and already exhausted by fear. The whispers followed her like shadows, sold, forced, pitied. She had not chosen this man. She had not chosen today. When he entered, tall and unreadable, the room fell quiet, and her heart sank further. She never met his eyes, only felt his presence like a storm she couldn't escape. Vows were spoken she barely heard. Her voice cracked when it was her turn, not from love, but from survival. The townspeople watched with judgment, certain they knew how this would end. A young bride bound to a man she feared. When he slipped the ring onto her finger, she flinched, expecting roughness, command, ownership. Instead, his touch was careful, almost hesitant. That confused her more than cruelty would have. Still, fear stayed. Fear of the night. Fear of what marriage meant. Fear of him. As they walked out together, the town saw a broken girl and a powerful man, and no one imagined anything different. The reception was small, stiff, filled with eyes that never stopped measuring her worth. She sat beside him like a stranger, barely touching the food. He spoke little, answered politely, never once raising his voice. That unsettled her. Cruel men were loud, silent ones were worse, she thought. When it came time for the wedding gift, the room leaned in. Everyone expected land papers, gold, or a public claim of ownership. He stood, reached beneath the table, and placed a worn leather folder into her hands instead. "This is yours," he said calmly. She opened it slowly. Inside were documents, property deeds, a small house near the river, and legal papers bearing her name alone. Not his, hers. Murmurs rippled through the room. He spoke again, steady and clear. "No one will ever own you. Not me, not anyone." The words hit harder than any shout. Her breath caught. The town froze, unsure how to react. A man giving power away on his wedding day was unheard of. Her hands shook as she looked at him for the first time. Really looked. Not a monster, not a savior, just a man who seemed to carry old scars behind his eyes. He explained quietly that the marriage contract was forced on both of them, that he'd seen fear like hers before, on his mother, his sisters. He would not repeat that cycle. If she wished to leave, the house was hers. If she stayed, it would be by choice. The room had gone completely silent now. No gossip, no judgment, only shock. Women stared at her with something close to envy. Men shifted uncomfortably. Power had changed hands, and no one knew what to say. Tears slipped down her face, not from terror this time, but from relief so sudden it hurt. She nodded, unable to speak. For the first time since 19 felt forced upon her, she felt like she could breathe. That night, the town spoke in hushed tones long after the lights went out. Some called him foolish, others called him dangerous, but no one dared call him cruel. In the quiet room they shared, he kept his distance, sleeping by the door, leaving her space, choice, silence. She lay awake, staring at the ceiling, clutching the papers to her chest like proof she wasn't trapped. Fear didn't vanish in one night, but something else took its place. Trust, fragile and new. Outside, the town that thought it had witnessed a tragedy had instead seen something rarer, a man breaking a rule no one questioned and a girl discovering that her life was still her own. The wedding gift hadn't been land or gold. It was freedom, and it left an entire town without a single word to say.